Hagfish can turn a bucket of water into more than 5 gallons of thick slime in under 1 second, enough to clog the gills of anything that grabs them, and that might be the tamest defense on this entire list. These are 9 real animals whose survival strategy is basically make yourself so disgusting or terrifying that the predator gives up and leaves, backed by actual science, no exaggeration. Let's start with the one that nearly suffocates its own attacker just by existing. Hagfish have slime glands running down both sides of their bodies, and when a predator bites down, those glands release a fibrous mucus that expands instantly when it hits seawater, turning into a thick, gill-clogging gel. A single hagfish can produce enough slime to fill a bucket in less than a second. The predator either spits the hagfish out or risks suffocating. Afterward, the hagfish ties its own body into a knot and slides the knot down its length to scrape the slime back off itself. It's an animal that defeats predators by becoming, briefly, undrinkable. Possums have zero control over their most famous defense. When threatened, their nervous system involuntarily shuts down, they collapse, drool, bare their teeth, and their glands release a fluid that smells like rotting flesh. This state, called thanatosis, can last anywhere from a few minutes to several hours, and the opossum cannot snap out of it on command, even if the predator starts poking it. It's not playing dead. Its body just unilaterally decides the show is over, and the opossum wakes up later with no memory of the performance. Bombardier beetles carry 2 separate chemical reservoirs inside their abdomens. When threatened, they mix the chemicals together in a reaction chamber, triggering an explosive reaction that heats the mixture to nearly the boiling point of water. The beetle fires this boiling spray out of a rotating nozzle in rapid pulses, audibly popping with each shot, and can aim it at attackers approaching from almost any direction. Researchers have recorded ants and frogs immediately releasing the beetle after a single hit. It's a beetle that manufactures and fires boiling chemical weapons from its own body, on command, repeatedly. Pangolins are the only mammals on Earth covered in scales, made of keratin, the same material as your fingernails, but layered like armor and sharp along the edges. When threatened, a pangolin curls into a tight ball, tucking its soft face and belly inside while the scaled exterior faces out. The scales are sharp enough that lions and tigers have been filmed trying to bite or unroll one and simply giving up. Mother pangolins use the same trick, wrapping their whole body around a baby to shield it completely. Fish lice are small ocean parasites that swim into a fish through its gills and clamp onto the base of its tongue with hook-like legs. From there, the parasite drains blood from the tongue until the tissue withers away completely. Once the tongue is gone, the parasite attaches itself in the exact same spot and functions as the fish's tongue for the rest of its life, while the fish continues eating and swimming completely normally. It's the only known parasite that fully replaces an organ of its host, and the fish never seems to notice the difference. Sea cucumbers have one of the strangest panic responses in the ocean. When grabbed, some species violently contract their bodies and shoot a tangle of long, sticky, sometimes toxic tubes out of their rear end directly at the attacker. These tubes can entangle or gum up a predator's mouth completely, giving the sea cucumber time to crawl away. Over the next several weeks, it quietly regrows the organs it just launched, good as new. Its entire emergency plan is throwing part of its own insides at the problem, then growing a replacement set. Vultures have an unusual way of dealing with overheating. After standing in carcasses and walking through bacteria-loaded blood and waste all day, vultures urinate and defecate directly down their own legs. As the liquid evaporates in the heat, it cools the blood vessels in their legs like natural air conditioning. As a bonus, the acidity is strong enough to kill off a lot of the bacteria the bird picked up while feeding. Vultures looked at hand sanitizer and decided to skip several steps. Horned lizards have a defense that looks like something out of a horror movie. When a coyote or other canine predator gets too close, the lizard restricts blood flow until pressure builds up in small chambers near its eyes, then ruptures them, shooting a thin stream of its own blood up to several feet toward the attacker. The blood contains chemicals that taste especially foul to canine predators specifically, and most drop the lizard immediately and back away. It's an animal that cries blood at predators on purpose, and it actually works. Blue-ringed octopuses are small enough to sit comfortably in the palm of your hand, usually no bigger than a golf ball. Despite that, they carry tetrodotoxin, one of the most potent neurotoxins on the planet, with enough in a single animal to be lethal to numerous adult humans, and there is no antivenom. Their bite is often so small and painless that victims don't realize they've been bitten until paralysis sets in, while remaining fully conscious the entire time.
When threatened, their normally dull skin flashes bright blue rings as a warning.
One of the most lethal animals alive could fit in your pocket, and you might never feel it happen. This is what 9 animals look like when their entire survival plan is make this not worth it: blood that shoots from eyes, slime that fills a bucket in a second, and a parasite that just becomes a body part. Every single one of these is real, documented, and currently happening somewhere on the planet right now while you watch this. Subscribe if even one of these made you say wait, what out loud, because there's a brand new animal fact like this waiting for you every single day. Which one of these would you not want to find in your backyard? Drop it in the comments. We read every single one.